Has star voting been used for elections before? And of course, there's more to it than just yes or no, so feel free to add more. All right. Jane coming in clutch with the answer. What do you think? Has star voting ever been used for elections before?
When I first saw the notification for this, actually, my husband is Ken on the call here, so he's been interested in star voting for a while. I went and read about star voting because I didn't know anything about it. So I must admit, a couple weeks ago when you guys sent out this notice, I did a little bit of reading. And so my recollection is that in Oregon, I don't know if they were primaries or if they were some earlier components of elections in certain counties have used star voting, but not anything in general elections is my recollection.
Okay. Thank you for that answer. I will leave that to Aaron and Sarah to kind of determine if that's correct or not, because I actually do not know the answer to this question fully. Mike, do you have any more to add?
Yeah, no, not in Florida.
All right. So our answer slide, I'll read through the answer slide and then Aaron and Sarah can add on more details if they wish. But our answers are that star voting is now being used for non-governmental elections and votes. Star voting was invented in 2014 using the accumulated knowledge of the good and bad points of previous voting systems. And I think Sarah mentioned that these slides were for a Eugene-based election. Would you like to speak a little bit more about that, Sarah?
Yeah, star voting's been now used for countless elections, private sector, small groups, all sorts of groups that we do or don't know about. But it's been used in two really key political elections in particular. So in 2020, the Independent Party of Oregon used star voting for its statewide primary, and that was open to all independent and non-affiliated voters. So technically the largest voting bloc in Oregon for a real political primary. And then in that same year, the Democratic Party of Oregon used star voting for an internal election to select the delegates that they would send to the national convention. So the Democratic Presidential National Convention, there were all these Bernie delegates and Bernie and Biden delegates, I think, that year. And then there's a handful of other political parties all over that have used star voting for internal elections, candidate endorsements, and all sorts of things.
So it sounds like in the last 11 years, it's really taken off. And there are some places that we really want to continue to get it in use, such as Florida. All right. Arend, are you ready to do a point check? Okay. Oh no, we have a tie so far at the top. So our number 1 and 2 are Pablo and Peter, both with 5 points. Jane and Mike with 4 points. Ken and Chaim with 3 points each. Sam with 2. Orson with 1. A lot of participation. I'm loving it. This is great. Thank you all so much. We have a few more minutes before we call it. So let's move on to our next question.